Welcome to the CAA and One. I'm Amanda Poole, joined by CAA women's basketball insider Monika Moore. Monika, let's dive into week 3 of CAA play headlines, starting with Charleston. And then there was one, right? Charleston, the lone unbeaten in CAA play, 6-0 for the first time in program history, taking down Drexel and Elon over the weekend to extend the Cougars' win streak to 7 straight. Monika, why have they been so unstoppable?
Well, I think they've been unstoppable because they have two outstanding players in Taryn and Taylor Barbeau. But they are not just those two players. They have so many other players on the floor that can execute at such a high level, and that's why they're doing so well right now. Now, the Barbeau sisters have been tremendous. You have Taryn, who's averaging about 20 points per game. You have Taylor, who's averaging 12 and a half points per game and is leading the league in assists. But the players around them, you have to talk about them too. Tyja Beans has been fantastic. She's top 20 in the league right now in points per game, but just in league play, she's top 5. Then you have Grace Isabella. We talked about her last week. She just had her 14th game where she has had double-digit rebounds. Marissa Brown stepped up this week against Drexel. Sophia Tugis is so reliable in terms of her scoring. When one player isn't delivering, they turn to someone else. And that's the reason why teams cannot find an answer for Charleston right now.
Yeah, I think when it comes to postseason success, you can't be a one-trick pony, and they have cracked that code so early on. It's been really, really fun to watch. Moving on to another team that seems to be cracking the code, Monmouth going 2-0 with wins over Towson and Campbell this past weekend. A strong defensive performance over the weekend for the Hawks in the 56-53 win over the Tigers on Friday. Towson unable to score a field goal in the entire first quarter. Then against Campbell on Sunday, the 71-31 win is sitting second in school history for fewest points allowed. Devine Debula, an X factor as you predicted, Monika. Take a look at this stat line: 37 points, 20 rebounds, and 3 blocks over the weekend.
That certainly helps. It helps a lot. And you said it, Amanda. Defense was such a big storyline for Monmouth. They held both Towson and Campbell to 25% shooting from the floor. That's hard to do. But I felt like that game against Towson was really a pivotal moment for the Hawks because they were coming off of the tough loss to Northeastern. Towson is a tough place to play, and Towson really pushed them in that game. There were 10 lead changes, but I thought the Monmouth defense in the fourth quarter was the biggest storyline. Now, you mentioned Devine DeBola. She has been fantastic, got her fourth double-double of the year this weekend. Gigi Gamble matching her career high 30 points against Campbell. But for Monmouth, they have their rematch coming up this weekend against Northeastern. I think that's going to be a fun one to watch. Monmouth's going to be looking for a little revenge, but the Huskies know that they can beat the Hawks.
And what do they say wins championships again? I think something about defense really comes in clutch there at the end. So
Yeah,
again,
so
teams
true.
teams doing what they need to do to hopefully be successful at the end of the season. Moving on to Stony Brook, the Seawolves going 2-0 over the weekend with wins over Hofstra and Towson, 5-1 in CAA play, matching the program's best start ever in CAA action. A dominant second half performance to defeat Hofstra. Then the Seawolves matched their best defensive performance in CAA play this season with a 55-44 win over Towson, allowing just 4 points through the first 10 minutes. Monika, what did you see from Stony Brook this weekend?
Wow, Stony Brook is really surprising a lot of people right now in a very good way. You have to remember, Stony Brook was picked to finish 12th in the preseason poll. Right now, they're tied for second with Monmouth, and I love what we're seeing out of them. And I think it comes down to three big things. First of all, the defense. In conference play, Stony Brook has had the best scoring defense in the league. They're holding their opponents to about 52 points per game, getting it done on the defensive end of the floor. Balance. In the two games this weekend, they had four players with 8 or more points. They have different players stepping up, carrying the offensive load. That's really helping them right now find that offensive consistency. And rebounding, Stony Brook is second in the league right now in league play in rebounding. That's getting them extra opportunities. That's helping them prevent their opponent from getting second chance opportunities. And with all of that, Stony Brook has found the recipe for success right now, and they're looking to keep it going.
Looking ahead to a fun weekend we have on board and moving into our game changer segment, starting off with our flow game of the week, Stony Brook at Drexel. Monica, who are you having your eyes on this weekend?
Well, I think I've already foreshadowed it a little bit. It's Caitlin Frost for Stony Brook. In league play right now, she's averaging about a double-double, and she was outstanding this past weekend. 11 points and 9 rebounds against Towson, 11 points and 16 rebounds against Hofstra. She's one of the best in the league right now in terms of rebounding the basketball, and that's why Caitlin Frost is my game changer in that one.
Well, for me, I think the Dragons will need Grace O'Neal's ball control going up against the Seawolves CAA leading defense. And yes, Amaris Baker can pour on the points, but O'Neal can be a difference maker because she has been able to control the pace and get her teammates, like Baker, in the right spots. O'Neal sitting top three in assists per game and assist to turnover ratio in the CAA to help the Dragons win turnover margins and win games in that category. Now, moving on to our next matchup, Campbell at Hampton. Monica, who do you have your eye on?
It has to be Hampton's Kayla Lazama. You look at conference play, she's leading the league right now with 22 points per game. And while that is so impressive, I think what's even more impressive to me, she scored 110 points in conference play in 173 minutes on the floor. So for the math majors out there, she's averaging about a point and a half per minute that she's on the court. That is outstanding point production for Kayla Lozama.
Yeah, and shout out to the Pirates too. They are coming off their first win over William and Mary since 2009. So she's definitely a difference maker for them. For me, I'm thinking that this game is won on the glass. I'm going with Campbell's Johnny Boone. I think she can make a difference with her defense and physicality. She's top four in the CAA in blocks per game and averaged 9.6 points per game in her last outing. I think it's going to be a battle in the paint. Moving on to our third matchup and third and final matchup is North Carolina A&T at College of Charleston. Can the unbeaten stay unbeaten? This one at Sunday at 1 p.m. I'm looking at the Aggies veteran, Shania Clark. She'll be a huge key for A&T on Sunday. Tied a career high with 20 points last weekend against Hampton. Also unlocking that three ball, going 2 of 4 from the perimeter. If she is on, she could be a tough matchup for the Cougars. Monica?
Yeah, she can knock down that outside shot. She really can do a little bit of everything. I absolutely love Shania Clark, but I am going with no surprise here. College of Charleston's Taja Beans. I just don't think she's getting enough credit right now for everything that she's doing. As I said, she is top five in league play in points per game, averaging 17.3 and about 2.5 steals. She only plays about 26 and a half minutes. So again, you look at what she produces and what time she spends on the floor. Taja Beans is a game changer.
And thank you guys so much for watching and joining us. Follow CAA Basketball on Twitter and again, catch all the action live on Flow College. For Monika Moore, I'm Amanda Poole. Thank you so much for watching.